What up, gang? Welcome back to the channel here. I want to show you guys a quick fix for the Aimtrak light guns. I have two of these on my Megacade here. I have Area 51 maximum force queued up on the Megacade. So you're going to hear, when I aim at the screen, so you can hear a recoil in the gun. That is powered with this cable here, and it has a sleeving over it that has it's got a black and white cable that supply a low voltage power to the piston inside the gun. There's a little piston that fires and makes the recoil sound that you hear and feel in the gun. The other half of this in this sleeving is the USB cable that goes into the gun so that it can see the light bar up on top and recognize the cursor on the screen. So in this sleeving there is power supply to the piston, and then there's USB cable, right? The only issue is this. Here's my other gun. Aiming it at the screen, we don't hear any piston firing in there. So I have come up with a solution. And this is not anything that has anything to do with Dream Home Arcades. This is a product made in Europe. I believe the owner's name is Andy, and the gun is called Aimtrak light guns. These are the light guns that you will get if you buy a Megacade. I would buy them 100 times over. They're awesome. The only issue is if you use your gun a lot, if you're bending it around right here at the bottom of the pistol, it flexes a bunch, and the little cables that supply the power to the piston inside for the recoil break. They actually break quite easily. So I'm going to show you guys a fix, and it should be good to go from that point on. All right, here we go. I have the gun opened up now so you can see. Here's where the cable comes into the gun, and then you can see the sleeving ends right here. The sleeving ends, and then you have these two cables coming out of it. You got the black and white one. This is the power for the piston that you see here. See, I have a little bit of double-sided tape on it because I like this whole apparatus to stay nice and snug in place. And then you have, at the end of this, there's a little USB plug right here. Just plugs into this little computer board. And we're going to take this cable out. I'm going to rip all of the sleeving off of this so that just exposes the wires. We're going to get rid of these. And in its place, we're going to wire in this 16 gauge lamp wiring that you can buy at Home Depot for like 30 cents a foot. It's way sturdier than the wire that comes inside of it that supplies the power. These things break so easy, it just sucks. I know that Andy is aware of this product and how it works, and I know they are trying to beef it up, but in the meantime, I believe this fix is going to be a permanent one. And not only that, once we're all done here, I'm going to show you, I bought this. This is a braided sleeving, and if you push on it, you can see it expands. This is a nylon braided sheathing. I got it from Amazon, Alex Tech. It's a 3/8 inch diameter. It's 25 feet long, which will allow you to do both light guns. It's black, and I already have a gun that's been done. I'll show you that over here. As you can see, this cable is all super tight. I have this gun finished. It's a super tight sheathing that goes over the cable. It's super protective. Pets won't chew on it. I guess that's one of the big selling points. But anyway, this gun works perfectly. So let's get to it. I'll show you the next step. All right, so here we go. The cable is out of the gun. This is what you see at the other end. The USB side, the left side here, plugs into the Megacade or whatever machine you're using to use your gun on. And the right side is this splitter that has, it's got your power source plug. So you can see at the other end here, it's all taken apart. This is the little clip that plugs into that little computer board in the gun. And here's your two power cables. These are the two that we're gonna be removing. I'm gonna split the rest of this sheathing off. We're gonna get rid of these cables. But it's important to know that we're going to save one part of this. We're going to cut this off, okay? This is going to be the end that plugs in, supplies the power. All there are is two little cables in there. We're going to splice these cables into your lamp wire right here, and this is essentially going to become your new power source. And I'll show you that when we get to the next step. All right, here we go. I have the sheathing all cut off. You can see it's all split aside right here. And then here's the two cables that we're gonna nip off. So once it gets to this point, you just have your USB cable going through here and your USB cable's all on the right-hand side. So we're just gonna cut all this off, and then I'm gonna splice in the power adapter with the lamp cable. All right, here we got our lamp wire all spliced in with this power connector for the Recoil. There's two. You can see there's a white cable right there and a black one from that one. Yep, I'm a twist and taper, I don't care. But it is important to use a heat shrink wrap. So let's slip this back over. I'm gonna heat this up, shrink it down, and then move on. Here it is all wrapped up with the shrink sleeve around it. And now we can go ahead and run this up to the end of the cable for the power supply. All right, here we go. Got the braided sheathing on both of my cables now. I have a black twist tie on the end right here, or I'm sorry, a zip tie. Make sure it stays nice and tight. This is the end that goes into the handle of the gun. And then here's your power supply. And then here is your USB for your little computer board. And then all the way down here on the other end, you can see the sheathing runs all the way to the end, keeps it nice and tight, and here is your USB plug and your power supply plug. So let me go ahead and put this back together and show you what it looks like in the gun. Boom, here we are. All right, so I have everything wired in. Here's the USB cable all back across the top, plugged into this little board for the light bar sensor. And then here is where we have the zip tie holding in the bottom of the gun. You can see the sheathing is nicely up and inside the handle. And then I just give the cables a good coil around. If you coil them around, give it some, bury them down in there. Make sure that they got a little bit of wiggle room if need be, but nothing's gonna get yanked out of here or anything. That's why you wanna have it coiled up nice and tight. We got both of the power supply cables spliced in with the lamp cable that we just replaced our old power supply with. And then here is the rest of the cable. So let's go ahead and plug it in. All right, here we have it. This is the completed gun. Everything's button backed up, put together. Here's our cable. And you can see the cursor on the screen. Now the recoil is working flawlessly. And we have a super beefed up 16 gauge lamp wire supplying the power. This puppy should last a very long time. And you can see it's plugged in the front right here. This is what it looks like. I have a little zip clip that I use because if you don't have that there, it's easy to pull these out of the machine while you're playing. So there you have it. If you like what you saw, give me a subscribe, subscribe, like, whatever. If you have any questions, comments, drop them below. And I will say, on behalf of Dream Home Arcades, when my gun first had this issue, I called Dave up and he was like, yep, go ahead and send it back to me. And he fixed it for free. He even replaced a whole cable with a brand new one for free. So it's not that they're not willing to go ahead and handle it. It's just I wanted to find my own way to make it a permanent solution. So there you go. By the way, I do have another update on the Megacade. I just had a hard drive update done in early June 2019. So hopefully going to get that over to you guys in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned and subscribe. Thank you.